Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about shared problem solving with young children and then the idea of adult problem solving and why it's important that we think about who's doing the problem solving when we're working with groups of children. So, when we work through the DIR FEDCs, the functional emotional capacities, we're thinking about problem solving, shared social problem solving being level 4. And in order for a child to be able to share problem solving with someone else, that means they have to be regulated. They have to be engaged around the problem. They have to be interactive around the problem, and they have to really be able to, you know, hold the problem and stay in the angst around the stress of the problem. And so when we're working with children, a variety of different ages and different levels, we have to think about what each child's capacity is and if they would be available for problem solving and how that could look. So, thinking of, for example, a summer camp or a social group, if we have two children that are doing pretty well, and then we have one child that's really dysregulated and isolating themselves and really needing one-on-one support from a therapist or a caregiver, the two that are hanging in there and the angst of the social problem solving, yes, they can social problem solve together, and that's wonderful. And we can support them in that. But that other child that might be self-isolating or dysregulating or crying or really having a hard time, we wouldn't necessarily expect for them to join the problem solving because they're not at that level. They're just in the level of trying to figure out their body and finding a way to be calm and feeling good. And so when we have, say, a group of 3 children, 2 are not doing so good, but two are doing decent, and 1 is not doing so good, then maybe these 2 are doing the problem solving, and then the adult supports this, and supports the younger child or the other child that is having a hard time with regulation. Now, if you're in a situation where all of the children are dysregulated, clearly we're not giving them any option for problem solving. You're going to make a plan, be the leader, and decide on a plan together, decide with your team partner or whatever it is, whether it's the volunteer or therapist. So you're going to make a plan based on whatever problem came up, such as so and so wants to leave the park, this person doesn't want to leave the park, or this person wants this game and this person wants this game. Both sets of kids are dysregulated, not engaged around the problem, having a really hard time. Then the therapist will step in and you make a plan. Okay, guys, this is the plan. We understand that you're having feelings about this and you're having feelings about this, but this is what's going to happen for now. And then we give like a nice, strong, concrete plan, and we can use visuals to help support that so the children understand. And then even though they might try to convince you, you're saying, we've made the plan, this is our decision, this is what's happening. I know you're having some feelings about it. This is hard. And then you're able to co-regulate around the feeling that might be having, but you're able to solve the problem and move forward with that, like cool, calm, collected, this is the plan. An anxious child that doesn't like the plan is going to be upset, dysregulated, and trying to shift and change your plan. But again, a child that's dysregulated is not the one that's going to be problem solving. So they really need you to be the strong person to move ahead and help with that. Hopefully that is helpful when we're thinking about groups of children. Again, in order for a child to be able to problem solve and interact with their friend around a challenge, we need them to be regulated, calm with their body, engaged with communication visually across space or with their words, reciprocity, which means like back and forth with words, and then staying in the angst around the problem solving. And if they're not at that level, be the leader, calm, cool, collected. Guys, I can tell we're having a lot of feelings, but this is the plan. I'm going to help you get through this. Here's a visual if you need it. Let's talk through it. And then you can reflect on the feelings later about how it was hard, if there was a disagreement or peers not getting along. All right.